Thinking about the future for you,
Yeah.
Sam, what are the currencies to watch? Like Bitcoin's had a boom, Ethereum's rocketed in the last year. What crypto should everyone know the name of?
Dogecoin. Everyone already knows that name, but you should. I mean, it's just like, I don't know how it's going to go in the end, but that is, you know how Time has that like person of the year thing? If there's like an asset of the year for 2020 and 2021, it would be Dogecoin. That is the asset that accurately reflects our current economic climate. That is the asset that we have all chosen and that we deserve, for better or for worse.
Well, you heard it.
And I don't say that as an endorsement or an anti-endorsement of it. I'm not trying to take a position on it. I'm just saying everything we as a society have decided over the last year has been dragging us closer and closer to the Dogecoin financial standard.
I gotta press here just to make sure before I start moving some positions.
That's what I was going to say. You heard it here.
Hold up. Just for transparency, I'm not in Dogecoin, right? At least not yet.
Right.
But what's your? Why do you say we've all chosen it? I'm just would love to know, like, what's your early evidence that we've met, other than Elon saying choose Dogecoin.
Right. And one thing I want to say is it's up 100x. So like, that doesn't necessarily mean it's a good buy or sell here. I mean, you have to decide whether we've chosen it more or less than the amount it's already appreciated. I don't know.
Yeah. Right.
But what have we done as a society that makes, when did we swipe right on Dogecoin? There's just been a ton of things, right? And so Elon is actually a powerful piece of this. He is the most influential man in the world when it comes to financial assets right now. His tweets move markets. He chose Dogecoin, and no one was surprised. Everyone kind of knew he'd choose Dogecoin, right? It's not like you're like, oh, geez, that's what he chose. You're like, okay, no, obviously, actually, in retrospect, that's what he's gonna, right? And we chose Elon, right? We signed up for this, right? We signed up for some amount of self-aware mockery, for some amount of a sense of humor, and for some amount of challenging norms and saying, okay, but seriously, maybe what makes your thing better than Dogecoin? No, really answer me that. Yes, I realize it's a meme. My question still stands. I think that when you look at what happened on GameStop Day, the only surprising thing was that it wasn't a cryptocurrency. Because that pattern just happens all the time in crypto. It's not unusual. And the moment that Robinhood banned buying of GameStop, do you know what happened? Hundreds of millions of dollars flowed instantly into Dogecoin, directly out of GameStop into Dogecoin.
Wow.
Because those are the same type of asset. People see those very similarly, right? If you really drill into why were people buying GameStop, it was you.
Yeah.
Combined with a little bit of like, look, you think that this thing is cheap? I don't think you understand markets. I think we understand something you don't, which is that if we all get together on social media and decide with our collective imagination that this thing has value, and you decide it doesn't, why are you so sure you're right? Maybe you're not quite as right as you think you are, or not as clearly right as you think you are. What if we collectively on social media actually have more capital than you do?
Yeah.
It's a super interesting question, but do you think that that's sustainable in Dogecoin? Do you think the way the application works? I mean, perhaps you want to.
How does the application of Dogecoin work?
I was going to say maybe that's the question of just
what separates it from other coins?
It is, as one of my colleagues and friends put it, objectively the funniest cryptocurrency. That's what separates it. It's not the tech. No one thinks it's the tech. No one even tries to argue it's the tech. No one who's buying it buys it for the tech or the product or the roadmap. They buy it because it's the funny looking dog and the fact that it's pronounced Doge and it's kind of dog, but it's not. That's why they buy it.
Are you being fucking serious right now?
No, Sam has answered this exactly how I would answer it. I mean, it is. There's nothing else.
Yo.
Yeah, and yet we're ascribing value to it.
So then I need the Dogecoin marketeers to come and work for me.
And you know what the cool thing is? There's no fucking Dogecoin company. They don't hire anyone to market it. The founder gave up on the cryptocurrency a decade ago. Not a decade, but 5 years ago.
Right.
Who's their marketeer? It's Elon Musk, and it's Reddit, and it's Twitter, right? And it's just a bunch of people getting together. It's memes, right? Like, what's their most powerful brand? It's that picture of like the kind of like cloud coming over the city with like the Dogecoin face. And it's like, you know, the
It reminds me of
Dogecoin.
Scooby-Doo, Sam.
Completely agree. It could have been Scooby Coin.
I gotta look at this. Hold on. I'm just looking. I'm gonna look at the.
Why can it? This is the question. Why can it not be?
To
a
be
currency?
fair, I would buy this coin. He looks cool.
Yeah, it's super sick, right? But
The coin looks cool.
Do we need anything else for this to be to be a permanent currency? If we all ascribe that
how
this is
about
the
Bitcoin?
means.
What makes Bitcoin worth more than Dogecoin?
I agree. No, I totally agree.
Yeah.
Well, I always thought Bitcoin. I mean, in my basic view of crypto, it's the most stable. So that's why everyone goes for Bitcoin.
Absolutely. Like a huge built-in advantage. But if enough people get together and decide that really it's Dogecoin now, could that shift?
Yes.
No, but
Maybe.
then once people move on to another coin, it gets its 15 minutes of fame and then it drops off.
Loyalty.
It's like an Instagram coin. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You need loyalty.
You need
Oh,
loyalty.
yeah.
If you don't
So
have
how
loyalty,
do you build loyalty for Dogecoin outside of...
It's a really interesting question. That is the collective experiment that the world is undergoing right now.
I
Right?
don't like this experiment, man.
But it's not just Dogecoin, right? How about like what is Elon Musk's best product? What is the most valuable product that he has built?
His voice.
His voice.
His brand.
Yeah. It ain't his product,
the ticker
right?
TSLA, right? That like the ticker TSLA is worth so much more than electric cars, and
For sure.
you know,
What's the
and-
ticker TSLA?
Tesla.
Oh, yeah.
listing.
Oh, I got
Yeah,
you,
right.
got you.
Yeah, it's just like you see this all over the place, and it's becoming a bigger and bigger part of our financial ecosystem because for the first time, you know, you look historically about what could cause something to massively appreciate in price, and there are basically two things: either it has to just be a company that makes so much money it's paying huge dividends, or the global wealth management platforms had to get together and decide that it was a great company and they're going to put all their funds money into it, right? And those are both sort of like not going to buy Dogecoin, right? Those aren't the force. And there's nothing else big enough to make something be worth a ton. And what's happened this last decade is social media. All of a sudden, for the first time, 10 million people all across the world can get together and tweet at each other. And you know, agree via posting memes on Reddit and Twitter about what they're into, and they can coordinate, not explicitly even, just implicitly, and you put those 10 million people together, and even if they only have $1,000 each, that's $10 billion of inflows, and that rivals the inflows that you get from the biggest institutions in the world.
Yeah.
And so all of a sudden you have this global decentralized network of bored people at home on their computers who collectively are, you know, the biggest pension fund, the biggest mutual fund, the biggest ETF in the world, and they don't have the same, you know, they don't have the same, you know, fiduciary duty to shareholders that Fidelity has. They don't have the same institutional history. They can buy whatever the they want, and if they want to buy a Dogecoin, they're gonna buy a fucking Dogecoin.
I fucking love this.
It's crazy.
All right.